You're watching college softball on the SEC Network. It's time to wrap up a midweek doubleheader for the Alabama Crimson Tide as the number 23 ranked team in America welcomes in the Samford Bulldogs out of the Southern Conference here to Tuscaloosa. And we welcome you to the booth here at Rhodes Stadium. Gray Robertson alongside my All-American partner, Kaylee Tao. And Kaylee, earlier today we saw another payoff from Winstead. This one will stay in play. Hevlin comes in to make the catch for the first out. And a called strike three. Good location for Winstead.
Three.
Olivia Shaw, first pitch to right. Catch is made by Pruitt. 1-2-3 for Winstead. And now we're off to the bottom of the first. Bama Bats coming up for the first time on offense because of the versatility that she showed right there with a base hit that sneaks by the center fielder Cothran and got all the way to the wall. Vandegrift will stop at third, and Alabama's cooking with gas here in the bottom of the first.
You talked about the versatility, Gray. Vandegrift can do it all. She can bunt. She can hit for average, and she can do this right here. She hits for power right on the nose, takes this one back up the middle, misplayed by Cothran in center field, and that opens up a door for the speed of Audrey Vandegrift to wheel around to third base, leadoff triple for the Tide.
Stake sets up this chance to strike first, and Pruitt will cash in. Definitely deep enough for Vandegrift. Just like earlier today, Alabama starts with a sac fly, and it's 1-0. Hevlin goes opposite way. Hubbard backs up. That's off the wall. A big bounce will send Hevlin to third. And that's definitely a triple. Callie Hevlin. On the ground to second. One play and it's made. And Squillaci throws to first, but that'll drive in a run. And Elistad adds another RBI to make it 2-0. People now just finding a way to really hit the ball hard, including right there. Abby Dukeshire gone. God bless America and the surrounding continents. The streak continues. Solo shot makes it 3-0 Bama.
Question answered, Gray. Continuing the home run streak, Abby Dukeshire with the big swing. This pitch, frankly, right down the middle. And that's a mistake to a hitter like Dukeshire. She makes them pay, taking it over left field, no doubter.
Well, that is now 6 home runs this year for Abby Dukeshire. 3 in the last 72 hours, thereabouts. And a meeting in the circle for Samford to try and calm everything down.
Swing big.
That's a hard chopper, and it eats up Nelson at short. Big turn for Riley, but she'll head back to first. And the hard hit balls don't have to be in the air. That was a shot on the ground for Alabama for the first time, not on third base. Salem Hawkins at the plate, another hard hit ball, but this time Nelson handles it at short to retire the side. But Alabama puts up a 3 spot, capped off by Katie Campbell attacks the first pitch, and Hevlin will snare it for the first out. On the action at some point over that series. Bruce to center. There's Vandegrift, 2 down. Average-wise has not had the year she's wanted, but she's utilized the long ball as she's done throughout her career, and now utilizes a pretty good eye at the plate. That's her 13th walk this season and a 2-out base runner for Samford.
And see Smith thinks she's going to get hit, but that's a great location once again.
And now Smith reaches and Winstead gets the strikeout. The 2-out walk does no harm. And Emily Winstead has her second K of the game to
very much a leader of this team, and sometimes you see players take on a leadership role and they're thinking about everyone around them and not able to think about themselves. Exactly what you see right there. Bond with the changeup, Giles with the strikeout.
That's well hit out towards center field. Cawthron backs up all the way to the wall, and the catch is made for the second out.
Johnson again with lots of barrel. Indefensible. What do you do after she just hit one to center field so hard and then lays down a bunt, and now she's going to take second base?
I mean, it really is potentially the biggest matchup nightmare in the SEC. You know, players like Kendra Fall.
You know, Florida with a very good freshman in Taylor Shoemaker. That race going to be interesting.
Catch made on the run by Smith in left. Side retired. No runs in for the Tide, and we go to the third with Alabama leading 3-0. Now a 3-0 count from the new pitcher, Caitlin Riley. That is probably not the start she was looking for. 4-pitch walk. And all of those skills were on display earlier today against Alabama State. But right now, Samford making her work, and a little bit of work done by Johnson to recover after slipping to make that catch for the first out. On the ground to third. The throw to second will get the lead runner. No chance for the double play, but there's two gone.
Ball.
Off goes the runner, Hubbard. The throw hits Hubbard. And maybe some bad luck for Samford right there, because Hubbard was ready to take off. It just didn't get far. Now the 0-2 to Michaela Cawthron. Swing and a miss. And that'll be the end of the inning.
Welcome to the SEC moment for the Sooners every weekend. So tough. Also South Carolina taking the series from LSU. That was a big one for them to win at LSU. A big piece of what they do in the circle.
Nice hit by Elistad. This will find the gap. Stopped at the warning track by Cawthron. That's another extra base hit for the Crimson Tide. Double for Elistad here in the third. Does that tie into Alabama? Well, look at this slate coming up. You've got at LSU, Oklahoma, and at Florida. And now with Rothrock back, that series in Gainesville gets even more difficult for Alabama and for every opponent that the Gators have. Just every week, you cannot look away from this conference. Caitlin Riley was looking for a big RBI swing, but now Cawthron will come in for the second out. One, fly ball to left field. Catch is made by Smith, and that'll end the frame. Still 3-0 Alabama after 3 innings. Off to the fourth. People on base, and those have been the moments, as Shaw grounds it to Elistad, 1 down. Those have been the moments in conference play where some of the runs have been given up when a new pitcher comes into a quote-unquote dirty inning with
not so good pitches, and I'm trying to hammer that for extra bases.
Right now the Samford lineup trying to get to Caitlin Riley, but it is hard to do. Another strikeout. And another strikeout for Riley. Back-to-back Ks ends the frame. And she keeps on trucking as we go to the bottom of the fourth to be back where she played ball. As Bond gets another fly ball out. Giles pops out to second for the first out of the inning. Half game ahead of the Mocs of Chattanooga. There's Bond showing a little PFP for out number 2.
Well, and Mercer having a good year as well. Could potentially slide in there.
Now Samford defensively has to solve Vandegrift. Nice play by Bruce, but she can't make the throw. We were talking earlier about that SEC fresh.
Or Bruce, excuse me, coming across. Bobbled the ball. I don't think she would have gotten Vandegrift anyway.
Now Vandegrift takes off, and the throw was just a hair late. Vandegrift is able to compete in a race that'll also include a couple pitchers as well in the SEC.
And it really comes down to what are the voters' value, which is the SEC coaches, because I think McEnroe Marinas has the edge in power. It's interesting.
Hevlin smokes it, and it's over the head of a center fielder, Cothran. Vandegrift scores. Here comes Pruitt. Callie Hevlin drives in a pair with a double. 5-0 Alabama.
Hevlin's 4th double of the season. She gets a round and outside pitch, hits it right on her barrel, over the center fielder's head. And Vandegrift and Pruitt, so much speed, wheeling around. Pruitt gonna score all the way from first base. 2 RBIs for Callie Hevlin.
Doubled in the 3rd. And this time she'll smoke it to the left center gap and out of the yard. And that is how you get the RBI lead right back. 2-run shot for Elistad. 4 runs in the 4th, and it's 7-0.
Callie Hevlin gets 2 RBIs on a double. Brooke Elistad comes up and gets 2 RBIs of her own on this home run off the scoreboard. It's a pitch on the outer half of the plate. Elistad lets it get deep. She has so much power in her swing, takes a big hack, puts 2 more runs on the board, and now Alabama 1 away from looking at a run roll situation. Times over the last week. This time, Carly Fuller gets the best ever.
Good job by Fuller getting the necessary out to end the frame, and we go to the 5th.
And awesome to see that many games on the linear networks this weekend. You can just chill on your couch and watch softball all weekend long.
Throughout the day and throughout the year, how occasionally some of these mid-majors can sneak up on you. Vandegrift will track this down. And currently LSU trails in the 6th, 2-1 at McNeese.
Weekend, and if you're coming off a loss, it's using it to reset, get your team back on track.
Well, Caitlin Riley has stayed on track since coming into the game. 3 up. You know, it's all about the quality wins that you are able to gather as the season goes on. Even if it's just 1 win, that still helps the resume. Beautiful pitch from Fuller for the strikeout. For new to the league, but they cannot have played in the conference at their prior school. So that would mean someone like Salem Hawkins would be ineligible for that as a Mississippi State transfer. But someone like a Brooke Elistad. And ball 4. Good take by Giles. And there's the game-ending run over at first base. That's South Alabama. This time she cues it to second. Acrobatic play by Squillaci will end the inning. And we go to the 6th. Alabama still clinging to that 7-0 lead. Couldn't get the 1 more, and now Samford stays.
No reason to change it.
Belle Nelson trying to spark something. Hevlin, the throw to first is not in time. We'll see how it's scored.
That also means a really important day off for Jocelyn Brisky.
Fly ball for Hubbard that's caught for the first out.
Brisky has had a lot of innings for the Crimson Tide. She pitched quite a bit this past weekend against Georgia.
Got her. 3rd time Cothran has struck out. 4th. Riley right back to work against Olivia Shaw. Elistad couldn't field it. That'll be a 2nd error this inning for the Alabama defense. 2 on, 2 out. Power in that bat. And she gets a hit through the right side. Nelson will round 3rd. The throw home is just a little late, and Samford's on the board. RBI single for Katie Campbell, and it's 7-1.
This ground ball hit so hard, and Campbell making the right adjustment on the drop ball. She lets it get deep. She lets it come into her barrel on the backside of her swing. Larissa Pruitt fielding it cleanly, making a great throw, but not in time, and Samford is on the board.
Greer-Bruce stands in. Bulldogs not done yet in this inning. That'll be fair down the line. One run is in. The pinch runner, Drake, stops at third. Double for Greer-Bruce, and it's 7-2.
Bruce finds the perfect location, gets around this pitch. It's inside. She pulls it down the left field line, and that'll do for another run for Samford. Still 5 more to come back, but
that got away from Giles. Another run will score for Samford.
Well, and this is where, back in the bottom of the 5th, the Alabama offense had the chance to walk this game off. They couldn't score 1 run. Now Caitlin Riley, a little bit of a wild pitch, not blocked up by Marley Giles. 3 runs on the board for Samford.
Nothing. Caitlin Riley was cruising, but then they couldn't get the run rule, and SIUE made it 7-4. It's just 7-3 here as Riley gets the K.
7th pitch of the at-bat. Vandegrift, a fighter, and Fuller trying to find a way to get her out.
That pitch just missed. 4th time Vandegrift has reached.
For all their runs, she was right on the money.
Another stolen base for Vandegrift. You lose track sometimes.
Still have so many weekends to go.
Good bump by Pruitt. Covered by Squillaci, but that's a productive out that gets Vandegrift to third.
Before this season is over.
Vandegrift worked a walk earlier in the inning against Carly Fuller. And so too will Hevlin. They're on the corners with 1 out. For Brooke Ellistad to do something. Great night so far, 2 for 3. No, Pate will take off. It's cut off. And 2 are in scoring position. This is hit way up in the air. Cawthorn will make the catch, but deep enough for Vandegrift to come in to score, and Alabama gets 1 back here in the home half of the 6th. She'll show it again on the 2-2. And she'll rip it to left, just foul, and a great effort by Smith to try and make a fabulous catch in foul ground. Dukeshire goes opposite way this time. Nice cutoff and right by Hubbard, but nothing was going to stop Pate from scoring, and it's 9-3 Alabama.
Side of the field. This time she adjusts on a pitch on the outside half of the plate. Doesn't take it over the wall, but enough to score another run and a single for her. And
off goes Clark. The throw split the difference between the 2 middle infielders. And a runner in scoring position. Called strike 3. Big time pitch by Fuller to force a 7th inning. Samford down to their last 3 outs.
Hitters, when it's late in the game, they just put up a 3 spot in the past inning. You have to go right at them. You don't want to give them any freebies. And a nice job going right at Smith right there with the rise ball. Exactly what I'm talking about when I talk about the bite.
Nice job by the freshman winning that battle, and this out will be much quicker. Squillaci on the first pitch will push the Bulldogs to their final out of the ball game. Called strike 3. Brea Hodges shuts it down with a 1-2-3 7th, and Alabama wins it 9-3 to sweep the midweek doubleheader.
Alabama used 3 different pitchers, each one of them having a great outing in the circle, and the offense showed out to put up 9 runs. Good doubleheader, good showing for the Crimson Tide.
Alabama improves to 27-13. We will wrap up our evening of coverage with Abby Duchscher when you come back here to Tuscaloosa.